wherever there is still historical craft available of building with bamboo, very often there's a great pressure from society for whatever reason to replace bamboo with steel or replace it with wood or go into concrete or brick housing instead.
竹子这个材料其实它不是一个当代材料，从严格意义上讲，它是属于大自然，然后是一个历史中长期存在的一个植物，所以能把竹子用在当代，成为一种当代的语言，用到空间里面去，是我们对竹子的理解。
Material is really amazing. The possibility of doing things that other materials can do, the bamboo can do it.
Soon a bamboo tree grew up, and from the hollow of one of its branches, a man and a woman came out. The man's name was Sikalak, and the woman was called Sikabe. They were the parents of the human race. Philippine creation myth.
Bamboo is a grass with over 1,250 known species, found in a wide array of biotopes ranging from cold mountains to hot tropical regions. Bamboo can vary in sizes. Some are very tiny, just a few centimeters in height, while others are enormous at over 30 meters tall. The Guinness World Book of Records lists bamboo as the fastest growing plant on the planet, with a growth rate of 90 centimeters within a 24-hour period. That is an impressive speed of almost 5 centimeters an hour.
The bamboo you see here is roughly planted 2.5 years ago. It's around 15 meters now. It will grow to about 25-30 meters.
Bamboo is an exceptional construction material. If used correctly, bamboo equals the tensile strength of steel and the compressive strength of brick and concrete. Now, why would we, except perhaps to keep traditional construction and manufacturing methods alive, consider bamboo at all today? We already have a great selection of contemporary and well-tested materials, including concrete, steel, wood, brick, and different plastics that already cater to the needs of modern society.
One of its biggest potentials is to tap into carbon trading and reforestation. That would really push the material forward.
When a storm comes, bamboo bends. It doesn't break. Michelle Moran, Rebel Queen.
In the construction sector, we use a lot of materials. The only sector that extracts more from the earth and uses more material is the energy industry itself.
Since the mid-20th century, we have experienced a steady increase in the global temperature. There is strong evidence pointing to a man-made climate change caused from the release of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide into the atmosphere.
Man has been adding to the quantity of CO2 that's pumped out into the atmosphere, well, since the Industrial Revolution. We have located sources of great energy intensity in fossil fuels, which had previously locked up carbon, which they had sequestered a million years ago, and then releasing that.
In short, by using fossil fuel as an energy source, we are digging up solid-state carbon from the ground and releasing it into the atmosphere in a gaseous state. Data extracted from the ice cores have shown that the concentration of CO2 is higher now than any time during the last 800,000 years. One strategy to reduce these emission levels is, of course, to decrease the use of fossil fuel by reducing energy consumption or by switching to renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power. Another successful strategy to decrease the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is by something called biological carbon sequestration.
To particularly concentrate on the aspect of sustainability that's to do with global warming and therefore CO2 sequestration, timber and other organic materials were the things to use for structure.
Biological carbon sequestration is a process through which plants and microorganisms store solid-state carbon in vegetative biomass and soils. Plants use carbon as building blocks, and this carbon is taken from the atmosphere. So, just by growing, plants are converting gas-state carbon in the atmosphere back to solid-state carbon. Trees and plants are a natural carbon sink, accumulating and storing carbon.
We should concentrate on bamboo and seeing how, especially how it can be engineered.
Bamboo's fast-growing characteristic makes it a very useful resource to quickly capture and sequester atmospheric carbon. But wait, man-made climate change is not an uncontested theory. It is true that a large majority of scientists favor the theory that global warming is a man-made phenomenon, but there is a vocal minority of skeptical politicians and a few scientists that contest this theory.
It's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay? It's a hoax.
Let us, just for a minute, ignore the overwhelming evidence supporting climate change as man-made and accept the argument put forward by climate change skeptics or deniers. If climate change is a conspiracy, a myth created to hold back development and progress, how does this affect our interest in bamboo as a material? To answer this question, let's try to find a common ground. We all agree that we need clean air to breathe and that water to drink is essential for human survival. Since the early Industrial Revolution, we have seen a variety of green strategies, such as planted trees to help mitigate some of the environmental degradation linked to rapid urbanization. The capacity for fast growth and continuous production of new leaf surfaces make bamboo an attractive choice in these strategies.
The rhizome structure, the root structure underneath the soil, is incredibly complex. This has an amazing effect on fixing soils, on arresting erosion, on stopping sedimentation of rivers, of regulating water flow.
Bamboo has an excellent ability to clean water. The physical makeup of bamboo enables it to remove and accumulate organic waste. For example, bamboo can absorb human urine. Bamboo has proven effective in phytoremediation, a process where soil contaminated with hazardous chemicals are cleaned with the help of living plants.
Bamboo can oftentimes thrive in problem soils, soils that many other crops cannot thrive in.
So even if we ignore the arguments surrounding climate change, bamboo still has an important environmental role to play. Bamboo can turn waste into a viable resource.
Yeah, I really think it has a future, and I think architects and engineers will have to reconsider the use of building materials in general to find new ways to use sustainable and renewable resources.
我们更希望用竹子这种材料，却用世界的一种语言和方法去表达和实现它。所以我们用竹子来表达流动的水，然后自然的山脉，或者用竹子来表达像鹅卵石一样的东方的圆。
Learn of the pine from the pine. Learn of the bamboo from the bamboo. Matsu Bashu.
Historically, humans have been using bamboo for a very long time. Agriculture of the plants can be traced back several thousands of years. As early as 16th to 11th century BC, bamboo was already used extensively by people in China as food, clothing, housing, transportation, music instruments, and weapons. The first paper on record was made using the inner pulp of bamboo in 2nd century BC China. Because of its unique properties, bamboo has long been considered as a symbol of success and health. In Chinese culture, bamboo is considered a symbol of culture and uprightness, and in Indian culture, a symbol of friendship. As such, bamboo has been finding its way into culture and mythology around the world. In mythology of the Philippines, for example, the first man and woman were said to have sprung out of a bamboo plant.
再有就是在中国有一句话叫“居不可无竹”，就是我们生活的家里边都会有一株竹子，啊，当然这是古代中国人生活的一种状态吧。然后竹子这种植物在中国的文化里边代表着铮铮傲骨的一种文人、文化人、知识分子的气质。
Bamboo is used daily for food, shelter, construction, furniture, kitchenware, storage, hunting tools, and so on, by 2.5 billion people, mostly in the Third World. Recently, we have seen an increase of bamboo products in Western contemporary life. Today, bamboo is used in areas of design, food, energy, sports, cosmetics, and medicine. Bamboo can be refined into biofuel, activated carbon, paper, textile, and bioplastics. And there are a large number of objects designed from bamboo: kitchen cabinets, loudspeakers, flooring, steering wheels, furniture, cloths, bikes, and cutting boards, just to name a few.
I'd like to look at Bambike as a lifestyle brand which creates bikes that have high performance capabilities.
On the dining table, we find bamboo shoots as food, tea, wine, vinegar, and beer.
Like like this modern life, like with the concrete, with what they need, what they have in the concrete stuff. Because I remember asked my friend, like, hey guys, which one you prefer, like my bamboo house or like a concrete house? Even like bamboo house will be cheaper. No, for sure, concrete house. We feel more safe.
We can ask, if bamboo is such a great material, why is it not more commonly used in architecture and construction? The answer here relates to many factors, including culture, market economics, and the structural properties of bamboo.
As far as a structural engineer, I need all the mechanical properties of bamboo in order for me to design a good structure using bamboo. Right now, we don't have
comes down to engineering. So if you want somebody to sign off on a building in terms of its structural integrity and its longevity, that is easily done all around the world in steel and in timber and in concrete, because these are known structural engineering computations. But with bamboo, that's not the case.
Two things that hold bamboo back are, number one, a lack of awareness, and number two, a lack of coordination among the stakeholders.
The building industry is ancient and conservative, and bamboo has difficulty competing due to its small-scale nature and limited budget.
I mean, people used to be in comfort zone, you know. People used with cement, concrete, steel and wood, so they feel that, why must I go do bamboo, you know?
Bamboo is not like a prefabricated material. It's natural material. That's why each dimension different.
Bamboo is really special. It's not like a pipe. It's every single bamboo is different.
Biggest challenges with bamboo in terms of the construction industry is its longevity and its inability to grade the material.
Building codes that architects typically work with in the major city, New York or London or Tokyo, these building codes and these building traditions can also become very restrictive. Bamboo suffers from that, again, in that it doesn't fall under the strict categorization, at least in its raw natural form.
Bamboo is still considered more of an exotic, third-world material, a poor man's timber, seen in beach huts, garden installations, and decoration of tiki-style bars, rather than as a contemporary building alternative. Add to this, the material requires a very special know-how, and this know-how is currently mostly found in the third world.
Because it grows outside of the big metropoles of the 20th century, because in those places it is cheaply and freely available, it becomes a very important resource to start an experiment with. And as different from the past, as these countries and these cities can now become pioneers in experimentation, some of the knowledge that, or some of the drives that they put on the table can be exported back into maybe the West as well.
Architects from the developing world are leading the industry in terms of innovation. But yeah, it would be great to see it being exported to other parts of the world.
For the normal construction, we work like usual. So from the concept to the detailed design. But for the bamboo, totally different. So like a construction way or schedule or the way of study also very different. For the bamboo, the information from the site is much more important.
Bamboo is also held back by its inability to play well with other material systems. Bamboo is inherently organic. No culm is the same, which makes it difficult to incorporate bamboo in modern construction practice.
Maybe the people prefer to use the much more modern material, how to combine with the glass or steel or something like that. That is our current challenge.
In order to utilize bamboo's full potential regarding structural properties in contemporary construction praxis, we have to overcome some challenges, such as the connotation of bamboo as a poor man's material, dimension fluctuations, problems to grade the material, and difficulty using conventional joinery. Bamboo has very specific material properties.
Bamboo is a tube, which means that it's stronger in one direction than the other. Like this water bottle that has one strong direction and crumble very, very easy in this direction. To further add to this, the fiber structure of bamboo is very linear to the length.
Bamboo's most unique property is its bendability, because it's a hollow tube reinforced with diaphragms that basically prevent it from buckling if you bend it. it puts it in a very unique spectrum of materials together with carbon fiber reinforced plastics or maybe aluminum in the types of actions that you can do with it.
In a bike frame, it's actually a high-performing material because it's naturally shock absorbing, so it makes for a very smooth bike ride.
Due to bamboo's lengthwise aligned fibers, any operation that cuts the fibers decreases its structural capacity. This makes conventional joinery challenging.
When we do slice in bamboo, we need to have support from other bamboo. That's why my engineer said to me that at least you have 3 bamboo there. I mean, like, they will support each other when you already cut here and then cut there.
The human capacity for burden is like bamboo, far more flexible than you'd ever believe at first glance. Jody Picoult.
When we started with this workshop, I knew almost nothing about bamboo. My presumptions was that it was used in other parts of the world and mostly for building in other parts of the world, and if it was used here, it was for perhaps furniture or cutlery or just decoration.
Studio trying to make a kind of like workshops. We try to offer it to the university in Indonesia. The lecturers, they don't know how to teach bamboo, but I mean, we have experience, so we try to share things to the students.
More education is needed to promote widespread use of bamboo, such as training programs, workshops, and course materials for the next generation of architects and engineers.
It's a bit difficult to make it worthwhile using as a construction material in big scale, but maybe with digital methods, mapping materials with the help of computers, I think we can use it with modern construction.
Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. Bruce Lee.
There is today an array of contemporary innovative projects dealing with bamboo's aesthetical as well as technical properties into a contemporary architectural praxis.
If you think of brick, you say to brick, "What do you want, brick?" And brick says to you, "I like an arch." And if you say to brick, "Look, arches are expensive and I can use a concrete lintel over you," what do you think of that, brick? Brick says, "I like an arch, and it's important, you see, that you honor the material that you use." Louis Kahn.
I'm honored to be named that, Bamboo Warrior, yeah. But warrior is like try to promoting, try to protecting, try to bring it up.
Bamboo is like on the other end of the spectrum of what you would be able to do with digital design tools. But if you see your computational environment and it's script in a slightly more loose setup, then that material with its own personality can enter into the equation and you can create something more maybe sophisticated or material specific. Let's say that you take a curve and you bend it. If you draw a digital curve and you apply spring forces on the elements inside that curve, you can very easily simulate very accurately what that curve would look like if you would bend it. So the material properties of bamboo can also be simulated.
新的技术结合竹子，当下的新的工业技术去结合竹子，也会出现一种新的效果。这个就像大理石，在传统工艺里面可能是有工匠去雕刻，在现代工艺里面可能它又出现了很多新的使用方式，是一个道理的。所以作为原材料，竹子并没有太多的变化，只是它可以结合不同的工艺，出现不同的样貌和情况。
Like Louis Kahn's dialogue with the brick, a good designer is in constant conversations with his or her materials. There are several contemporary dialogues worth listening to where keen bamboo whisperers are asking, "What do you want, bamboo?" There are three categories of projects that are of special interest here. Projects that stem from a well-established bamboo practice, projects that use bamboo in more contemporary practices, and projects that try to innovate systems where traditional and contemporary practices come together. To start with, we find projects heavily anchored in traditional bamboo building practices. These traditional contemporary projects push the narrative in regard to sizes and building types, while maintaining a strong lineage with the local bamboo tradition. Traditional contemporary projects attempt to utilize the full potential of bamboo, but they tend to understand bamboo in a world comprised only of bamboo. In another type of project, we see bamboo added to modern contemporary structures. As an add-on, bamboo is hung on or attached to construction systems to form ceilings and wall claddings, room dividers, and curtain walls. Here, bamboo is fitted into contemporary building systems. Perhaps the most interesting projects are the projects that attempt to mitigate both of these worlds, attempting to utilize bamboo's unique properties into contemporary modern buildings, or in other words, projects with a focus on how bamboo can play well with other materials, such as steel, wood, concrete, and glass, without losing its soul.
It really creates a different design solution space for architects to explore.
I don't necessarily think it doesn't work with other materials. I think sometimes there's a tendency to be almost orthodox with bamboo, that everything becomes bamboo, including balustrades, structural members, even cladding. But I think the material works best when it's worked in conjunction with what we describe as more contemporary materials.
Some people are burning down the bamboo, killing the bamboo, but you know, bamboo is a miracle plant. After a few weeks you burn it, then it will start growing back. That is the nature of bamboo.